So here's the truth. The difference between an okay guided intimacy session and a transformative one really comes down to everything that happens before it even begins. So your mindset, your energy level, the environment, all of this matters. And I'm going to explain this on the other side so you can get the most out of every experience. Hi, I'm Scott Schwartley, and I'm the founder of Coel, a guided intimacy app for couples. And today I want to talk about how you can best prepare for a guided intimacy session. So, as I mentioned in the introduction, there are really three things that you need to be mindful of the next time you actually press play. So we've got the mindset, your environment, and the energy that you bring. So let's talk about the mindset first. So if you are in a place where maybe you've got racing thoughts, maybe you're anxious or you're worried about performance, obviously those are things that are going to hinder you in your ability to perform the way you want to during a guided intimacy session. So you know yourself better than anybody else. So I would recommend tap into that and do those things that are gonna, again, help reduce your anxious feelings. So if it's going through a breathing exercise, maybe something meditative, then do that. If it's simply going on a walk or taking time by yourself, do that. If you're someone who's athletic and you like to work out, lots of great studies out there that prove that exercise reduces anxious feelings by up to 50%. So go for a walk, go for a run. And usually those endorphins that are there, they'll last up to about 12 hours. So if you know you're gonna practice or engage in a guided intimacy session at 7 p.m., then go for a run or a walk at 7 a.m. or 1 p.m. Again, you're gonna be in that 12-hour window to kind of keep you in that safe zone. So all that to say, your mindset is such a critical component when engaging in anything, in this case specifically guided intimacy. So check in with yourself, practice your breathing, reduce those anxious feelings, and get your brain prepared for pressing play. All right, let's talk about number 2 here, which is the environment. So your space matters. And so what I want to do here to sort of emphasize this point about the importance of environment is that what you do in that space, it really does have a tremendous impact on your guided intimacy session. And if it's not a guided intimacy session, maybe it's just you being intimate, it's going to impact that as well. So whatever it may be. So pay attention to the smells, to the lighting, to whether it's picked up and not cluttered. These things actually do matter. To kind of really drive this point home, I'll give you a quick example here. Earlier this year, my wife and I went on a Virgin Voyages cruise. It was adults only, so we didn't have to worry about our kids. And when we were in the room, there was this display panel, and it allowed you to choose the lighting for whatever mood you're in. So if you were hungover, you can hit blue. If you wanted to sort of wake up, it could be really bright white. If you wanted to have sort of sexy time, you could turn it to like pink or purple. And this was a game changer because it allowed us to sort of dial into whatever mindset we had in that particular moment. And so I was so inspired by it. I actually came back home, I changed all the lights in our bedroom and was able to connect it to an app. And so now, depending on what we want, whether it's watching a movie or being intimate, I can change the lighting to match that environment that we're trying to create. So lighting, candles, creating a great playlist. One thing that my wife and I love, we both grew up in the 80s, and so we love a good cover song. So I even know like on Apple's playlist options or even Spotify, you can find like chill cover songs, like that's sort of like our go-to. So music, candles, lighting, your environment, this all matters to help set the tone and set the mood for a guided intimacy session. All right, let's talk about number 3 here, which is all about the energy that you bring. Not only just yourself, but with your partner as well, and the energy that they're actually bringing to the bedroom as well. So let's talk about that. So one thing I would encourage before you even press play is to simply look at your partner and communicate intention. So this could be something so simple as, hey, let's just explore tonight and see where this goes. Or, emphasize the idea that no pressure, again, we're just gonna see where this goes. So by carving out that time in the beginning to state intention, it allows you to dial into each other and establish the right energy level for what you're wanting to do. One thing that my wife and I do as well is we actually have, I created a simple Google form. It's a kind of our devotion night intake form. And we send this to each other, and you're allowed to essentially have the opportunity to select what your mood is and what your energy level is and what you're wanting. And are you stressed? Are you looking for stress relief or a massage, or you want to be playful and adventurous? And so we have the opportunity to fill this out, and just by having this information prior to a session, we know what energy level each one of us is bringing into the guided intimacy session. So highly recommend that as well. All right, so 3 things that we've talked about here so far. When thinking about a guided intimacy session and you're wanting to kind of plan and prepare in the right sort of way, again, you got to be mindful of your mindset, the environment, and obviously, as we just concluded here, the energy that you bring. So as we wrap this up, just a few final thoughts for you. So it would be remiss of me not to cover this last and final point, which is not really part of the main 3 that we're talking about, but it is something that is super important to address, and that's the idea of aftercare. So when you're done with this session, when you're done engaging in a guided intimacy session, it's important to practice the art of aftercare or afterglow. So if you're going to come to the table with this level of intentionality, with your mindset, the environment, and your energy level, go that next step and invest some time and effort into practicing aftercare when you're done being intimate. There are a lot of studies out there that have proven that aftercare is just as important, equally as important, or you can even argue in some cases even more important than the actual intimate session within itself. So invest that time, be in each other's embrace, cuddle, reflect on the moment. It could be 2 minutes, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, whatever you want to define as sort of your aftercare time, but be intentional about including it anytime that you're actually intimate. So if you enjoyed this content, obviously I would appreciate a like or a subscribe. My intention moving forward is to continue putting out these videos every single week on Thursdays. And so, as we officially wrap up here, I'll leave you with my final statement, and it's this: remember, intimacy isn't automatic, it's guided.